So that's something good to note. I say good to note a lot. I don't know if you've noticed that, but you know, it's good to note. Hello everyone, Ferb here, and welcome back to Factorio episode 6. I've got quite a bit planned for today. As you can see, a couple of things you might be able to see. Probably not here. Up here, I believe is right. Yes. So, I have hooked up our stone miner to coal so that it can mine and we can make bricks. Lots and lots of bricks. Also, something that has been happening off camera is iron is back up to a stable level of full. And the furnace is back there, backed up and stuff, and we're all good. Now, in terms of research, we have completed the fluid handling. We have also completed advanced material processing, which allows us to process materials. Yeah. That gave us the steel furnace, actually. We did that last time. Yes, we did. Okay. We have done sulfur processing, plastics. What else? That might actually be it. I thought I researched more. Oh yeah, and armor crafting too. Those are also researched. So, that is all for the off-camera stuff, I believe. Yeah, I think so. So, let's get into this episode. So, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, this episode is going to be on oil and mining the oil and doing stuff with the oil. So, first things first, we are going to need a pump jack. So we're going to need some copper, which should be sitting in here. There we go. And we're going to need some steel. Just grab from there, and we'll make a pump jack. So we've got some oil sitting down here. This one yields 405%, 327. So we're going to want to put our pump jack here as soon as it's done being crafted. But yes, we're going to want to put our pump jack here because we're going to get more oil than if we put it here. In terms of oil on the map, you can see it is pink. So we got the 2 here, we've got some down here. We've got quite a bit up here. So we might want to venture up there at some point. Not right now, of course, but probably later. Anyway, we have our pump jack, so we're going to want to place it down facing upwards. Yes. You know, I'm just going to want to break down some trees up here because we're going to want to put some stuff around here. There we go. Okay, so we have our pump jack. We are going to need some small electric poles, because we're going to want to hook this up to power. There we go. So it is now going to start mining for oil. Now it is already filled up its internal storage. So we are going to get a storage tank. And we're going to also get some pipes. So, we're going to come out and bring the oil out this way. As you can see, the pipes can store a bit of oil themselves. And we are going to put our tank right there. So now our tank is going to start filling up with crude oil. You can see it's up to 48, and it's going to keep rising. This can store, what was it? Does it say on here how much this can store? No, it doesn't. Okay, I don't know how much the tank can store. I guess we'll see that once it gets to filling it up the whole way, but for now, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, so in order to do anything with this oil, we are going to need a oil refinery. So we're going to need some stone bricks. We're going to need a bit more iron, and we should be good. I'm going to grab some iron. I'm going to go grab some stone bricks from up here. Good thing we have some right there. And we're going to want to get a oil refinery. This is going to break down the oil into oil that we can actually use, like gases and heavy and light oil. It is pretty much, well, it is a necessary component if we want to actually do anything. Now, once again, this takes a second to craft, so... Now, something to note is that both of these things, the refinery and the pump, use up a decent amount of power, which is something that you should note. Because you want to make sure your power system can handle it. I don't know if mine can right now, but I can always add more because it's set up that way. Anyway, oil goes in the back here. I thought, yeah, I want to go basic oil processing. So now it's going to show us that we accept crude oil from the back. We have our heavy oil, light oil, and petroleum. So that's what these three spots are, and those are going to come out of there. So we're going to want some more tanks to store those in also. Is usually what I do. I don't know what the most efficient way of putting this up is, but it should work. And that one will end up going there. Like that. Okay, so we have our stuff getting stored now. So now it is time to power up our oil refinery and get things going. So power there, and it's going. So now, after a second of it refining, you can see that we have light oil, heavy oil, and we have some petroleum gas. Now, the only problem with this is you need to make sure you're using all of these things. If you're just using the petroleum, which is the most useful usually, then the problem with that is that if these two tanks fill up, which they will if you're only using the petroleum, you're going to end up with a problem of this thing stopping because it has nowhere to throw its heavy and light oil. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. Luckily, there is uses for both heavy and light oil. Light oil can be used as lubricant, and heavy oil can actually be changed into a fuel that can replace coal later on. So that is something to note. Also, what are we at here? I don't think it... No, it doesn't tell us what the current state of that oil spot is, but it's probably getting pumped up quite a bit. This tank is about halfway full. Refinery is going. What is our... So with that running, we are at 1.2 megawatts. Good to note, both of those running. And with the labs running, it would probably cap our, or get close to capping our system. So we might want to look into more power later on, but for now, I think we're pretty good. Okay, so in order to make use of any of this stuff, we are going to need a chemical plant. So let's grab some steel, and let's make a chemical plant. Okay, so we're going to just place the chemical plant down over here just so I can take a look at it and see what we want to start making. So as you can see, you can get solid fuel from any of these. However, you can get lubricant. Okay, it's heavy oil that gives you lubricant. You can get sulfuric acid using petroleum, so we don't want to use petroleum to make solid fuel. And we can get lubricant by using heavy oil. So we want to use our light oil to make solid fuel. Also, it is the least used up when making solid fuel, which is kind of, I guess, an intended feature, because it's pretty much the only thing you can use light oil from. in order to do. Petroleum is used the most. It's used to make sulfuric acid. Well, actually, let's go back. It's used to make plastic. It's used to make sulfur. And it's used to make sulfuric acid, which requires sulfur. So it's used quite a bit. Which is something that's good to note, because you do want to make sure that you have a steady supply of it. Okay, so first off, we need to make probably some plastic. Do we want to go with plastic first? It just requires coal and petroleum. Yeah, let's go with plastic first. So, we are going to place system right here. And we are going to connect it to tubes. And we are going to set it to make plastic bars. So, it also needs coal in here. So, we are going to grab ourselves a long-handed inserter, because we happen to have coal running right here. So, if we do this, and we give it power, there we go. We should be getting coal pulled from this conveyor belt and placed into our chemical plant. So, we now have plastic bars, and we are just going to simply remove them and place them into a chest for now. I forgot we already had chests. And we probably... yeah, we already had inserters too. Okay. Anyway, plastic goes in there. I'm going to make it create 3 stacks. There we go. So, we're going to be using up our petroleum gas, but not using up our other things at the moment. We probably want to start converting heavy oil straight into lubricant for use later. And we'll leave light oil alone for now. We won't worry about it for now, but we will worry about it later. And we are going to want to branch this off, because we do need to work on making sulfur. And sulfur requires petroleum gas and water. So, we might want to actually bring our petroleum down across and do sulfur over here. So that's the main reason I got these underground transfer things, pipes that we can use. So, we'll bring petroleum down this way. Just have it come out over there. Okay, actually, let's go one over. Okay, so we're going to want to bring pipes from here. I need more iron. Good thing we have a lot of iron right here. I don't want the coal. Quick picking up the coal. There we go. Iron is what I need. That's good. Okay, now let's make some more pipes. Okay, there we go. So we have petroleum running over here. So now we are going to want to set this up. So, sulfur, petroleum comes in there, water comes in there. It's not exactly the best way to do this, but it'll work. What if we... no, that doesn't work. What if we put plant down here? Just have it loop back around in order to finish off its cycle. Actually, it's just making sulfur, so we can run stuff through conveyor belts after. Okay, this works. This works. So, sulfur. So, water goes in there. Petroleum goes in here. So, it's getting petroleum. Good. So, now we need to get water. So, we're just going to get another pump, like the one that we got over in our power system right there. So, we're going to get another offshore pump, wherever those are located. There it is. Okay, offshore pump. Is this not deep enough water? No, it is. Okay. Perfect. So now we're getting water and petroleum gas. So now we just need to run power over here. Okay, so now that we've got power over here, we are now getting sulfur. Power consumption is going up. However, what are we at here? Yeah. Okay, we're not quite producing the amount of petroleum we need in order to make this a sustainable situation, but we're fine. It'll be fine. Okay. So, sulfur is used to make sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid is then used to make processing units. That is why we need sulfuric acid, because these processing units are used in a lot of later game things. I don't know if we have any right now that require it. Like anything unlocked. But we will need it. So, that's why we're working on it. Speed module, no, just advanced circuits. Yeah. So these processing units are going to need to be made. Once again, not quite right now, but we're going to get them made anyway. I kind of want lights over here too. So I'll get some lamps going. So this lubricant is pretty important because it's going to allow us to make engines, which can be used to make cars, trains, and other things once they're unlocked, of course. I probably want to get another tank also. There we go. So lubricant's being stored. Our oil is still just sitting there, so whatever. Okay, so now that we have sulfur being produced, we're going to want to bring it out. Place it onto conveyor belts. And bring it up this way. So, the specific location that this sulfur is going, I don't quite know where I want to put it yet. Probably right around here. What does sulfur need? I mean, not sulfur, sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid also requires water, so I'm going to want it by this pump. Yeah, so probably not far. Something like that. Sulfuric acid. There we go. Water here. It outputs sulfuric acid up there. We need iron plates also. And then sulfur. So sulfur is easy to put in because we have it ready. Iron plates we're going to have to bring down on a separate conveyor system. And I'm just going to place a tank down to contain the sulfuric acid once it's produced. Okay, so now we are going to want to bring iron plates down there. So I don't know if I want to take it straight off of my processing line here. I could, but this is already shared among a lot of things. Let's start another chest here. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We have iron plates connected to our sulfuric acid production. So we are now fully automated in terms of producing sulfuric acid, lubricant, and plastic. Now, this light oil still needs to be dealt with. Looks like this system is finished. Yeah. So that's why we are now having an excess of petroleum being produced. We are still not having an excess of heavy oil. That's fine. Not a big deal. So, I want to get one more chemical plant. once this stuff stabilizes, we should be good, but it's gonna take a few minutes to stabilize. Probably like 10-20 minutes to stabilize the system, because this is still using some steel, not steel, iron plates, but this thing has to refill, so those furnaces are finally gonna get to go back to the workforce. Okay, so we are gonna want to hook another chemical plant up here. Give it power. We're gonna want to set it to do light oil into solid fuel, and we should be good. Why aren't you grabbing? Oh, are we? We are capping out our production. I mean, not our production, our consumption. But you should still be going. You can go there. Oh, that's fine. Okay. However, that's good to note that we are hitting our electricity capacity, so all these machines are running slower than usual right now. So we are going to want to hook up another steam engine. It's been a while since we've hooked one of these up, but it is once again time to hook up one more steam engine. There we go. We do not have full available performance right now, so you guys probably still aren't running at full. No, you aren't, because the available performance is down. So what we're going to want to do is make another boiler. Place that there. Now we're going to want to give it fuel, so we're going to want to go conveyor belt, inserter, and more power right there. Are we going to get back up to full available performance? I don't know. I'm going to have to just watch that bar climb. See where it caps out. If that temperature gets back up to 100, which it might, we're up to 98, 9. Yes. We are at full available performance, and we have excess power. System is now stabilized, and we are good. So as you can see, this whole production system here uses up quite a bit of power. Like, I'm not gonna lie about that. Lots of power is used up. And we are still pumping oil. As you can see, I think what it's saying, like, you see how it says 3.9 oil a second? I believe that means 390% is what it's at right now. So that, I think that's how it works. I can probably break this and check, which I will. Yeah, so 380, 390, yeah. So we can tell what percentage it's at based on the number a second that we're getting. So that's something good to note. I say good to note a lot. I don't know if you've noticed that, but you know, it's good to note. Okay guys, as you can see, I am just about done crafting the battery. There we go. So, I haven't told you guys that I was making the battery research, but it is done now, so no going back. Anyway, so why did I do this? Okay, so batteries are very useful later on in the game. However, they require sulfuric acid, which we now have. So that's why we are now going to produce batteries. Batteries are made in a chemical plant once again. So I'm going to make another one of those, and they require iron, copper, so we're going to have to get copper to go all the way over there, which is going to be a task that we're going to have to do. Shouldn't be too difficult though. If I branch the copper off here, bring it down, make it go underground here, across and over, I should be good. However, this plant can go right here, down here, right there. Okay, get those batteries going. Okay, so we need copper and iron plates. We've got iron plates, now we need to bring copper over. So, like I was saying, we need transport belts, which we have. We need a splitter. There we go. Okay, iron and copper are now being sent over here, and we are getting batteries. Perfect. Okay, so here is the future plan for the next couple episodes, because the oil tycoon of death and stuff is pretty much complete. We have oil processed, we have all of the materials that we should need in the future, including solid fuel, and plastic, and sulfur, and sulfuric acid, and batteries. We have all those. So, what are we looking at for the next couple episodes? So, if we look at our research, we have automation 3. We don't really need that right now. Okay, advanced electronics 2 can lead us into robotics, which could be good. Rocket silo, wouldn't be terrible. Okay, circuit networks, don't really want to deal with those right now, because honestly, I don't really know how they work. So, and when I did want to figure out how they worked, there wasn't a lot of documentation on them, so there probably is now, but yeah. So, moving on, we have explosives. Might be something to take a look at. Kind of cool. We have lasers. Lasers are going to be needed, actually. I think I want to start researching those right now. Yes, I'm going to start researching lasers. Okay, so beyond lasers, we have solar energy. This is that separate energy source that I was talking about. If we can get solar energy and store that energy in those batteries to be used during the night, that is when we have a sustainable source of power. So that's how we're doing that. Stone walls are going to be something we want at some point, because they are going to allow us to protect ourselves from all of the bad guys trying to attack. Engines are going to lead us into electric engines, railways, and automobiles. So that's cool. Railways are pretty cool, because especially for stuff like stone, which is far away, you can send a train out and go and get it to pick up resources. So it's more of a later game thing for once you've cleared out the resources here and you want to go and get resources out elsewhere. I've used them once or twice in my stuff, but I haven't played Factorio in a long time. This is the first time playing it in the Steam version, so yeah, it's been a while. So, advanced material processing can get concrete, but it can also get these electric furnaces, which could be useful, and, well, are useful, so we might want to look into that at some point. Advanced oil processing can allow us, now this is another thing that we can do. We can actually convert heavy oil into light oil, and then we can convert light oil into petroleum. Now, it also allows for the advanced oil processing, which is a little bit different than the regular oil processing. So this one gives us 1 heavy oil, 4.5 light, and 5.5 petroleum. So 1, 4.5, and 5.5. What's this one give us? 3, 3, and 4. So as you can see, it's more geared towards getting us that petroleum that we really need, instead of giving us all the other crap that we don't really need. Flammables might be cool to look into. Bullet damage, I might want to get that off camera, help us when we're going and trying to kill stuff. So same with shooting speed. Gun turret damage, maybe, I don't know. Combat robotics, no, don't really want that right now. Armor crafting 3 could be useful it unlocks a lot of stuff. So that might be something to think about. Speed module 2. No. And that's all the stuff we have unlocked for now. So, right now, we are going to do lasers. And I'm actually going to be back once the lasers are done being produced. Or done being done stuff, yeah. Because we're going to do a little bit of stuff right before we end. Okay, so next up is making laser turrets. Houston, we have a problem. Electricity is not being produced fast enough. Okay, next episode's goal is now decided. Producing more power. We've got the lasers. We're now waiting on the laser turrets. And those are going to be able to replace our crappy turrets right here. As you can see, these things have a range of 17. The laser turrets have a range of 1,000. Is what I believe it said, right? Right? Laser turrets, 1,000? Yes, range of 1,000. And they do damage with power instead of with bullets. So, power is something we need. But it's also going to be really, really cool. So, laser turrets for life. Laser turrets are done, so, let's make ourselves some laser turrets. They're going to require some resources, though, obviously. So, considering this laser turret has a range of 1,000, placing it right in the middle of everything should be able to cover this entire area and replace all of our gun turrets. Which I'm going to leave up for now, but it'll pretty much replace them. Okay, where's the center of our base? It's like right there. Okay. So then power to it. Right there. Okay. So yeah, you can't see the range of it, which kind of sucks, but whatever. It should be a big enough range to encompass our whole area. So there we go, laser turret complete. And that's the end of the episode, guys. Because we are getting there. We're getting to the end of the episode. We have completed the Tycoon of oil, and we have accomplished laser turrets. Along with, like, killing the power system completely. Like, it's bad right now. It actually gets worse over the line, I think. As you can see, the quality of the water is what's really dropping right now. So it is just this area here. So this whole pond is probably not suitable anymore. Power system will probably be moved up here in the future, once that area is walled off and protected. However, guys, that is all I have for the episode. So, if you guys liked the video, make sure to leave a like. And if you really liked it, then make sure to subscribe. For 7001, signing off. I will see you guys in the next video.